Kia ora koutou katoa. It's certainly my privilege and honour to speak tonight in my capacity as envoy and a proprietorship representative on the Board of Trustees, but also as Christine's friend, to share some thoughts as Mrs O'Neill's time at St Thomas's comes to a close. Christine, your commitment to Catholic education and the charism of Edmund Rice is a shining example of educational possibilities and outcomes. You have left St Thomas's in a better place than what you found it, and the college and its community is indebted to you for your leadership. As you've said, on your watch the college has grown from a roll of 350 young men to now its maximum roll of 650 students. We now have an enrolment scheme which has to be enforced, and something dear to me, you've successfully promoted cultural diversity within the college. The college is a vibrant place with a roll of over 40% Māori and Pacifica. When I first started at the college as a Year 9 pupil in 2002, there were 3 students at that stage that identified as Māori and Pacifica, which is an absolute stark contrast to what we see tonight. There have been so many accolades and accomplishments in your time here that it's obviously difficult to name them all, but there are a few that stand out to me. One that you've already mentioned being the Euro 5-year review that you achieved, and I know that was a particular passion of yours, Christine. The Prime Minister Award that the college was awarded not too many years ago, and also one which Andy touched on, was the application that you and your team put ours into, essentially on behalf of the proprietor, to obtain the funding for the replacement C block, which is almost complete. Looking with retrospect, had the college not obtained that grant, I hate to see what position we're in, but it's possible that we wouldn't have been able to replace the C block or the admin block. You've led the college and its community through the earthquakes and all of the additional issues that brings to us all, not only what happens in the classroom. You opened the college to site sharing with Catholic Cathedral and navigated the challenges that looking after the wider community presents. Out of adversity becomes opportunity. You then started to develop and change the timetable and school hours to deliver a better outcome for the young men that attend the college. You've commenced the transformation of education in the college right into the 21st century, which includes adapting, changing and revitalising the curriculum to ensure it remains relevant in a modern society. You have led the largest building program in the college's history, and I know that this has been difficult both for you personally, the staff and also the students here at the college. You have overseen the implementation of an RJ philosophy through the college and have turned around what would have been considered some of the worst standout and suspension rates in the country to now some of the best. The college now has some of the best retention rates in the country. Over 90% of the young men that come to St Thomas's stay to Year 13. That statistic is far greater than the vast majority of boys' secondary schools in the country. Young men that attend St Thomas's are more likely to remain in secondary education, achieve at least level 2 and remain engaged in college life. The list goes on, and I've only outlined some of the college's accomplishments while you, Christine, was leader. Something that you're perhaps not great with is accepting praise or compliments. I can hear you now pushing back this praise and pushing the praise back onto your staff and students at the college. As the Māori whakatauki goes, kaore te kumara e kōrero mō tōna ake reka. The kumara never says how strong she is. And while it's absolutely true that you have had a tremendous staff and senior leadership around you who have contributed and have been a significant factor in the college's success, that too is one of your successes. You have developed leaders within the college, not only within your senior leadership team, but also across the staff. You have developed the people within the college to ensure that the foundations that you have laid will continue long into the future. You provide your staff with the freedom to develop their area of expertise and their faith. You actively encourage your staff to push the boundaries and work at the cutting edge to deliver the best outcomes for this community and its young men. Your role as a woman in Catholic education for boys is also remarkable. When you were appointed as principal, you were the only female principal across Catholic boys' education in New Zealand, and there was only one other female principal across the state sector in boys' education. You have been an outstanding principal and a remarkable female role model in the lives of hundreds of young men. While you have achieved so much, you've had to deal with many hurdles, both in your personal life and professionally. While we are of course disappointed to see you go, the college has been blessed to be able to appoint Steve Hart as its principal. Steve is also a proven leader with vision and desire to continue in the direction which Christine has led. As a board, and as Andy said, we have every confidence in Steve's ability and look forward to working with him into the future. Daniel 12:3 provides that those who teach justice shall be like stars forever. Christine, you are one of those stars, and the significant impact you have had on myself personally, but more importantly this college and its community, will continue to shine long after your departure. While you move on to your next challenge, on behalf of myself, the board and the proprietor, I salute you for you and your commitment to the education of hundreds of young men and the charisma of Edmund Rice. You have left the college in a place where it truly develops men of justice and compassion with educated hearts and minds. Ngā mihi nui a koe, Christine, a daughter of St Thomas, you shall always remain.